Cenerentola.
Oh my gosh, good for you.
Ritrovarla, io giuro, amor, amor, mi muove. Se fosse in campo Giove, io la ritroverò. Se fosse in campo Giove, io la ritroverò. Se fosse in campo Giove, la ritroverò. Sì, la troverò. Sì, ritrovai-la io giuro. Amor mi muove. Se fosse in campo Giove, io la ritroverò. Se fosse in campo Giove, la ritroverò. Sì, la troverò. Io la ritroverò. Io la ritroverò. Ritroverò, ritrove, io la ritroverò. Mio adorato caro, che mi lusingi almeno, a come abbracciano, come ti stringerò, a come l'abbracciano, ti stringerò, ti dolce speranza, freddo timore, dentro mio cuore stanno a pugnar. Freddo timore, dentro mio cuore stanno a pugnar. Dolce speranza, freddo timore, dentro mio cuore stanno a pugnar. Domanderemo. Dolce speranza, freddo timore, dentro mio cuore stanno a pugnar. Freddo timore, dentro mio cuore stanno a pugnar. Dolce speranza, freddo timore, dentro mio cuore stanno a pugnar. Domanderemo. Amore, vado a guidar, potremo, ritroveremo. Amore, vado a guidar, amore, amore, vado a guidar, amore, amore, vado a guidar. Sì, sì, mai da guidar, sì, sì, mai da guidar.
I don't want to freak you out. I've never sung this aria.
Really?
Yeah, because I think it's too hard. It's the one Rossini tenor role of the popular roles that I never sang in my career.
Really?
And I started to learn this aria once because a lot of people like to use it for auditions. And I just thought, this is too hard. I'd rather sing one of the other ones because it's not as hard. So kudos to you for learning it. That's fantastic. I mean, it's great. It's a great choice for you. You know, your voice is light, it moves really well, you have great facility, and obviously you have ease with the top, and so it's a super good choice. Good for you. Is there anything in this that you would like to talk with me about in particular? Or can I just jump in with something? I mean, because it's a big piece, and obviously you've been working on it for a while. It offers lots of challenges, both musical and technical. And, you know, it's great. It's not perfect yet. How long have you been singing it?
I started at the beginning of last semester, so it's been a while.
Okay, so that's great though, because you have some history with it, you kind of know what's going on, and now you've got it in your body. You can start to be a little more picky and be a little more specific and kind of clean it up to the level of musicianship that you obviously have. So what I would love to do is I would like to start the first allegro. Could we start there a little bit and talk about a couple of things?
Like after the series about the...
Yeah, exactly. C'est false.
Okay.
So, would you just sing the first phrase without the piano? Just give us the key.
C'est faux, yes.
Yeah.
Se fosenga Giove,
Again, go on.
io la ritroverò.
Okay, sing the first phrase one more time. Listen really carefully, just like you did. It's really great.
Se fosenga Giove.
Do you notice how the moving tones are in the exact same speed as his vibrato? You're not conforming your vibrato to a tempo. You're singing the phrase in a tempo that fits your voice. So one of the things that we don't understand about the way Rossini wrote these parts and what he had in mind and what the style demands is, Rossini looked back to the original treatise on vocal technique by Manuel Garcia. And Garcia writes about the idea that a voice moving beautifully, so bel canto, a voice sounding beautiful in its repertoire, finds the tempo and the speed of its own sound and its own color. And so when it's marked allegro, it's not allegro 112 or allegro 120, it's allegro fast enough to be exciting, but slow enough to fit in the voice of the individual singer. So we get fa, se, intro, so that those moving tones are exactly in the speed of your own voice. Could you show the direction of the phrase in the held note instead of waiting and then moving? Try it without the piano.
Se fosenga
Okay, well, you did. You sang a crescendo, but you also elongated that note and changed the tempo. You made it like a quarter tied to its dotted 16th or something. Same speed. Fa-sing. Just a little blossom. Don't think of it so much in terms of volume as intent.
Se fosenga
Bravo.
Giove.
You feel how that anchors you on the breath so that as you go up, it's really easy. It feels like the interval is compressed, like it's shorter to sing. It's more of one gesture instead of a note and a scale and another scale back. Okay, do it just like that with the piano, right from the top.
Se fosenga Giove, io la ritroverò.
Okay, thank you. The next phrase is harder because it has consonants. Io la ritro, io la ritro. So we need the blossom before all the consonants kick in so that it has enough energy to articulate the consonants without getting behind or needing to come off the sound. Make sense? From the top again. So you got the first one that kind of does itself, and then use your body in the same choreography in service of the second one.
Se fosenga Giove, io la ritroverò. Se fosenga Giove, io la ritroverò. Se fosenga Giove, la ritroverò. Sì, la troverò.
Okay, very good. Thank you. So that's the idea of it, yeah? And when you listen to singers who do nothing but Rossini, now you'll never listen to it in the same way again. You hear them do this exactly for it. Then, when you get to the phrase that stretches, or where you're not in that 16th note pattern anymore, you stretch as much as you need to make it work, and don't apologize for it. You make it happen in a musical way. But the simplicity and the inevitability of that steady stroke is what buys us the possibility to do what we want in the other places. Does that make sense? Great, so that was really splendid. Now let's just look real quick at the second section for one quick moment.
The slow section.
Yeah, the Argentino.
Let's go with it.
Sure. had a conducting class?
Not yet. That's next semester.
Have you ever watched the conductor? How would you conduct this phrase?
This phrase specifically?
Sure. Conduct the piano into your introduction. Turn and face him. Actually, let's start at the top of it. So conduct him into this phrase. Show him what it's going to be like. Just ignore them. Pay no attention to those people behind the curtain. So you're conducting in 3. Do you know what the meter is here?
I don't actually.
Okay, it's 6/8, so I mean, you're essentially right. What if you were conducting in 2? Could you conduct him in 2? Same tempo. So 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Show him. What do you want? He's going to play what you conduct. Beautiful. Stop right there. You hear the difference in what the piano is playing? So the orchestra is taking its clue from the conductor, which is this gesture. Could you please sing this section in 2?
Okay.
Or possibly even in 1, but not in 6. Okay, how about one more? Conduct with your voice in 2. Oh man, that's beautiful. That's fantastic. Do you hear the difference? What makes the difference? I know it's an idea, but how did you do that?
I don't know, I just did it.
Oh, that is so not going to run. I mean, that answer is unacceptable. I don't know, I just did it. Okay,
I just thought of the phrases, I guess.
You thought of the phrases. Okay,
Yeah,
what
the
were you thinking
phrases.
about before?
The line of the piece, but not necessarily in meter.
Oh, okay, so you were kind of thinking of the melodic line, the contour, but not the phrase. Okay, beautiful. So let's start again. Think of the phrase. At the end of 1 or 2 of these phrases, assuming that you can do it 2 times in a row, prove there wasn't a fluke, I'm going to ask you to explain to me again how you did it.
Okay.
Okay? Okay, how'd you do that?
I used breath.
That's a very good answer. I thought I was going to have to poll the audience for information on how you've done that, so you saved yourself. So it's weird, isn't it? Because the other thing is so aggressive and so assertive that as soon as I hear jump, ta-da-da, ta-da, I go, ah. And when I hear this, I go, ah. Which is great for my psyche, but terrible for my breath. If anything, because it doesn't happen on its own in this more legato section, we have to own it. We have to take responsibility for it up front. And one way of doing it is thinking about the shape of the phrase as opposed to the individual notes or the contour of the melodic line. One way maybe is to think about what the mood is or what the intent is. Why would Rossini write this very different character of music for this part of the text? In an aria like this, it's great to think about what would be happening on stage at this point. If I were the director, what would I have the prince doing? How would I have him interacting with people right here? Or what's he thinking? What gets him to this point? But at the end of the day, it's about muscles doing their work, not because they have to, but because you chose to invite them to get under that gosh darn phrase and move it along so that you could sing that beautiful, elegant phrase. Yeah? And that's annoying because it means you have to not only sing, but think. And you have to think about singing in a way that seems contrary to the character of the section. Yeah? So it's something we fight with all the time, and that is, but it feels so easy and light. Great. I should feel that it's easy and light when you're singing it for me. I don't care what you feel like. If you feel like you're working your butt off harder than you ever did in your life, good. As long as I feel it's easy and light. So there's a little price to pay there, yeah? And as beautiful as the florid sections are, that middle section can be much more elegant, as you've demonstrated now really beautifully. So I would invite you to be, challenge yourself more to really make that happen. And keep up the good work. It's fantastic. Thank you so much.